Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to my channel. This is Aurelia from Aureliaslight, and this is the Manifesting the Miraculous podcast. I'm so happy to have you here. I would love to invite you to just comment below where you're from, because I love to read the comments and interact with you. So in tonight's episode, we're going to be discussing infinite energy from the book The Untethered Soul, The Journey Beyond Yourself. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and listen to Infinite Energy. Consciousness is one of the great mysteries in life. Inner energy is another. It's actually a shame how little attention the Western world pays to the law of inner energy. We study the energy outside and give great value to energy resources, but we ignore the energy within. People go about their lives thinking and feeling and acting without the understanding of what makes these activities take place. The truth is, every movement of your body, every emotion you have, every thought that passes through your mind is an expenditure of energy. Just as everything that happens outside in the physical world requires this energy, everything that happens inside requires an expenditure of energy. For example, if you concentrate on a thought and another thought interferes, you will have to assert an opposing force to fight the interfering thought, and that requires energy. And it can wear you out. Likewise, if you have a thought that you're trying to hold on to in your mind, but it keeps drifting off, and you have to willfully concentrate it to bring it back. When you do this, you are actually sending more energy to the thought in order to hold it in that given place. You also assert energy to deal with your emotions. If you have an emotion you don't like, and it's interfering with what you're doing, you just push it aside. You do this almost instinctively, so that the unwanted emotion doesn't come up and disturb you. Every one of these acts is an expenditure of energy. Creating thoughts, holding on to thoughts, recalling thoughts, generating emotions, controlling emotions, and disciplining powerful inner drives all require a tremendous expenditure of energy. Where does all of this come from? Why is the energy there sometimes, and at other times you feel completely drained? Have you ever noticed that when you're mentally and emotionally drained, food doesn't help that much at all? Conversely, if you look at the times in your life when you were in love or excited and inspired by something, you were so filled with energy that you didn't even want to eat. This energy we are discussing does not come from the calories your body burns for food. There is a source of energy you can draw upon from the inside. It is distinct from the outer energy source. The best way to examine this source of energy is to look at an example. Let's say that you're in your 20s and your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you. You get so totally depressed that you start staying home alone. Soon, because you don't have the energy to clean up, everything ends up sprawled all over the floor. You can hardly get out of bed, so you just sleep all the time. You must be eating, because there are pizza boxes lying all around, but nothing seems to help. You just have no energy. Your friends invite you out, but you decline. You are simply too tired to do anything. Most people have been there at some time in their lives. You feel like you have no way out, and it seems like you will stay there forever. Then suddenly one day, the phone rings, and it's your girlfriend. That's right, the one who dumped you 3 months ago. She's crying as she says, "Oh my God, do you remember me? I hope you'll still talk to me. I just feel so terrible. Leaving you was the worst mistake I ever made. I see now how important you are to me, and I can't live without you. The only real love I ever felt in my life was during the time we were together. Would you please forgive me? Could you ever forgive me? Can I come over and see you?" Now, how are you doing? Seriously. How long does it take you to get enough energy to jump out of that bed, clean up the apartment, take a shower, and get some color back in your face? It's practically instantaneous. You are filled with energy the moment you hang up the phone. How does this happen? You were just completely drained. For months and months, you had no energy. Then, out of nowhere, in a matter of seconds, there is so much energy it blows you away. You can't just ignore these enormous shifts in your energy level. Where exactly did all of that energy come from? There was no sudden change in your eating or sleeping habits, yet when your girlfriend comes by, you end up talking all night and going out to see the sunrise in the morning. You're not tired at all. You're together again and you're holding hands. And these rushes of joy just won't stop overwhelming you. People see you and they remark that you look like a bundle of light. Where did all of this energy come from? What you'll see if you watch carefully is that you have a phenomenal amount of energy inside of you. It doesn't come from food and it doesn't come from sleep. The energy is always available to you. At any moment, you can draw upon it. It just wells up and fills you from the inside. When you are filled with this energy, you feel like you could take on the world. When it is flowing strongly, you can actually feel it coursing through you in waves. It gushes up spontaneously from deep inside and restores, replenishes, and recharges you. The only reason you don't feel this energy all the time is because you block it. You block it by closing your heart, by closing your mind, and by pulling yourself into a restrictive space inside. This closes you off from all of that energy. When you close your heart or close your mind, you hide in the darkness within you. There is no light. There is no energy. There is nothing flowing. The energy is still there, but it can't get in. That is what it means to be blocked. That is why you have no energy when you're depressed. There are centers within that channel your energy flow. When you close them, there is no energy. When you open them, there is. Although various energy exists within you, the one you intuitively know the most about opening and closing is your heart. Let's say that you love somebody and you feel very open in their presence. Because you trust them, your walls come down, allowing you to feel lots of high energy. But if they do something you don't like, the next time you see them, you don't feel so high. You don't feel as much love. Instead, you feel tightness in your chest. This happens because you closed your heart. The energy is the heart center, and it can open or close. These vortexes or centers are chakras. When you close your heart center, energy can't flow in. When the energy can't flow in, there is darkness. Depending upon how closed you are, you either feel tremendous disturbance or overwhelming lethargy. Often, people fluctuate between these two states. If you find that your loved one didn't do anything wrong, or if they apologize to your satisfaction, your heart opens again. With this opening, you get filled with energy, and the love starts flowing again. How many times have you experienced these dynamics in your own life? You have a wellspring of beautiful energy inside of you, but when you are open, you feel it, and when you are closed, you don't. This flow of energy comes from the depth of your being. It's been called by so many names. In ancient Chinese medicine, it is called Qi. In yoga, it is called Shakti. In the West, it is called spirit. Call it anything you want. All the great spiritual traditions talk about your spiritual energy. They just give it different names. That spiritual energy is what you're experiencing when love rushes up into your heart. That is what you're experiencing when you're enthused by something and all this high energy comes up inside of you. You should know about this energy because it's yours. It's your birthright, and it's unlimited. You can call upon it at any time you want. It has nothing to do with age. Some 80-year-old people have the energy and enthusiasm of a child. They can work long hours for 7 days a week. It's just energy. Energy doesn't get old. It doesn't get tired. And it doesn't need food. What it needs is openness and receptivity. The energy is equally available to anybody. The sun doesn't shine differently on different people. If you're good, it shines on you. If you did something bad, it still shines on you. It's the same with the inner energy. The only difference is that with inner energy, you have the ability to close up inside and block it. When you close, the energy stops flowing. But when you open, all the energy rushes up inside of you. True spiritual teachings are all about this energy and how to open it. The only thing you have to know is that opening allows energy in and closing it blocks it out. Now, you have to decide whether or not you want to feel this energy. Do you want it or not? How high do you want to get? How much love do you want to feel? How much enthusiasm do you want to have for the things you do? If enjoying a full life means experiencing high energy, love, and enthusiasm all the time, then don't ever close. There is a very simple method for staying open. You stay open by never closing. It's really that simple. All you have to do is decide whether you're willing to stay open or whether you think it's worth closing. You can actually train yourself to forget how to close. Closing is a habit, and just like any other habit, it can be broken. For example, you could be the type of person who has an underlying fear of people and tends to close when you first meet them. You could actually be in the habit of experiencing an uptight, closing sensation whenever somebody walks up to you. You can train yourself to do the opposite. You can train yourself to open every time you see a person. It's just a question of whether you want to close or whether you want to open. It's ultimately under your control. The problem is, we don't exercise that control. Under normal circumstances, our state of openness is left to psychological factors. Basically, we are programmed to open or closed based upon our past experiences. Impressions from that past are still inside of us, and they get stimulated by different events. If they were negative impressions, we tend to close. If they were positive impressions, we tend to open. Let's say you smell a certain scent that reminds you of what it was like when you were young and somebody was cooking dinner. How you react to that scent depends upon the impressions left by your past experience. Did you enjoy having the dinner with family? Was the food good? If so, then the smell of the scent warms you and opens you. If it wasn't so much fun eating together, or if you had to eat food you didn't like, then you tighten up and close. It is really that sensitive. A smell can make you open or close, and so can seeing a car of a certain color, or even the type of shoes a person is wearing. We are all programmed based upon our past impressions, such as all kinds of things can cause us to open or close. If you pay attention, you will see it happens regularly throughout each day. But you should never leave something as important as your energy flow to chance. If you like energy, and you do, then don't ever close. The more you learn to stay open, the more the energy can flow into you. You practice opening by not closing, and any time you start to close, ask yourself whether you really want to cut off this flow. Because if you want, you can learn to stay open no matter what happens in this world. You just make a commitment to explore your capacity for receiving unlimited energy. You simply decide not to close. At first, it feels unnatural, since your innate tendency is to close as a means of protection. But closing your heart does not really protect you from anything. It just cuts you off from your own source of energy. In the end, it only serves to lock you inside. What you will find is that the only thing you really want from life is to feel enthusiasm and joy and love, and you can feel that all of the time. Then who cares what happens outside? If you can always feel up, if you can always feel excited about the experience of the moment, then it doesn't make any difference what the experience is. No matter what it is, it's beautiful when you feel that way inside. So you learn to stay open no matter what happens. If you do, you get for free what everybody else is struggling for: love, enthusiasm, excitement, and energy. You simply realize that defining what you need in order to stay open actually ends up limiting you. If you make lists of how the world must be for you to open, then you have limited your openness to those conditions. Better to be open no matter what. How you learn to stay open is up to you. The ultimate trick is to not close. If you don't close, you will have learned to stay open. Don't let anything that happens in life be important enough that you're willing to close your heart over it. When your heart starts to close, just say, no, I'm not going to close. I'm going to relax. I'm going to let this situation take place and be there with it. Honor and respect the situation and deal with it. By all means, deal with it. Do the best you can, but deal with it with openness. Deal with it with excitement and enthusiasm. No matter what it is, just let it be the sport of the day. In time, you will find that you forget how to close. No matter what anyone does, no matter what situation takes place, you won't even feel the tendency to close. You will just embrace life with all of your heart and soul. Once you've attained this very high state, your energy level will be phenomenal. You will have all the energy you need at all times. Just relax and open. And tremendous energy will rush up inside of you. You are only limited by your ability to stay open. If you really want to stay open, pay attention when you feel love and enthusiasm. Then ask yourself why you can't feel this all the time. Why does it have to go away? The answer is obvious. It only goes away if you choose to close. By closing, you are actually making the choice not to feel openness and love. You throw love away all of the time. You feel love until somebody says something you don't like, and then you give up the love. You feel enthused about your job until somebody criticizes something, and then you want to quit. But it's your choice. You can either close because you don't like what happened, or you can keep feeling love and enthusiasm by not closing. As long as you are defining what you like and what you don't like, you will open and close. You are actually defining your limits. You are allowing your mind to create triggers that open and close you. Let go of that. Dare to be different. Enjoy all of life. And the more you stay open, the more the energy flow can build. At some point, so much energy comes to you that it starts flowing out of you. You feel it as waves pouring off of you. You can actually feel it flowing off of your hands, out of your heart, and through other energy centers. All of these energy centers open up, and a tremendous amount of energy starts flowing out of you. What is more, the energy affects the other people. People can pick up on your energy, and you're feeding them with this flow. If you are willing to open up even more, it never stops, and you become a source of light for all of those around you. Just keep opening and not closing. Wait until you see what happens to you. You can even affect the health of your body with your energy flow. When you start to feel the tendency of an illness coming on, you just relax and open up. When you open, you bring more energy into the system, and it can heal. Energy can heal, and that's why love can heal. As you explore your inner energy, a whole world of discovery opens up to you. The most important thing in life is your inner energy. If you are always tired and never enthused, then life is no fun. But if you're always inspired and filled with energy, then every minute of every day is an exciting experience. Learn to work with these things. Through meditation, through awareness and willful efforts, you can learn to keep your centers open. You do this by just relaxing and releasing. You do this by not buying into the concept that there is anything worth closing over ever. Remember, if you love life, nothing is worth closing over. Nothing ever is worth closing your heart over. This is the end of Infinite Energy. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I really resonated with this because, I work with the heart. Most of my work that I do with music and teaching is with the heart. One of my most favorite quotes I heard such a long time ago when I realized I was walking on this heart path was by Rumi. And it is, you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. So I thank you once again for joining me in this podcast, and I always want to invite you to study with me or to listen to my music on all streaming platforms. But again, I do work with the heart, and I work with sound because our voice is a powerful way to break through some of these barriers. So if you'd like to learn vocal sound healing, or to learn how to use your voice to open the energy centers that are blocked and closed, I invite you to check out Aureliaslight.com, look at the Vocal Sound Healing Academy, listen to my music anywhere, and it really is about opening the heart and healing those pieces within us that have closed us off from receiving the light of God. I truly know that when all of the barriers go down and we keep our hearts open, there is such a tremendous energy that we have access to. It is truly the greatest healer. I send you so much love and light, and I will see you next time.